Today is Friday, the 11th of December, 2020. Hello and welcome. We are live on NTN. This is the morning update for today, Friday. I'd like to thank you so much for joining. My name is Jessie Leonce. If you are watching on air online, a special good morning to you, residents in St. Lucia, St. Lucians in the diaspora, especially those who are looking to come back home, travel back to home for the festive season, the Christmas season. We do thank you for tuning in. It is very important that you are aware of the latest updates and the plans by the government of St. Lucia to prepare for your arrival. In the news for the 24-hour news cycle, we do have another Goodwill Ambassador here in St. Lucia. Just yesterday, there was the investiture ceremony for His Excellency Darren Julius Garvey Sammy, and I'm going to tell you a bit about that in just a moment. That ceremony was held at Government House in Montfortune, and he is now the newest Goodwill Ambassador as under the Ministry of Culture and the Creative Industries. Also, we're going to take a look at things on the COVID-19 front. St. Lucia is going to introduce a COVID-19 contact tracing app, definitely going to boost the response here on island in terms of determining potential links, etc., where the virus is concerned. Christmas and COVID, as I mentioned earlier, there are plans by the authorities to manage home-based quarantining, as we'll have an influx is expected in holiday travelers returning home for the season. And a new project enhancing the skills of the labor force is launched. We're going to be moving through this morning's program a bit quicker than usual, because we do have two important interviews. We do have Martin Hanna, the owner of Pennypinch, a local fintech startup company, coming in to speak to us about the launch of his mobile digital wallet, letting St. Lucians know how they can benefit from this application from the tip of their fingers on their phones and be able to save a lot of money while shopping for the Christmas season. And we do have in studio on standby Mr. Earl Agdamar from Gemstones Theatre Productions to speak to us on the Virtual Arts series. We know that the Gemstones Theatre Productions will be featured again this weekend. It's been sort of in the latest installment, the latest iteration of the National Arts Festival for October 2020. We've so far seen a reality TV series, and he will be here to speak to us about Gemstones Theatre Productions' role in all of this. So stay tuned. It's a packed program. We are due for quite a bit of discourse as well as important updates from the government of St. Lucia. Stay with us.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join revolution.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. St. Lucia now has another Goodwill Ambassador in the person of His Excellency Darren Julius Garvey Sammy. The ceremony of investiture was held just yesterday at Government House. We saw the Governor General having the actual ceremony for His Excellency Darren Sammy there yesterday, Thursday. the 10th of December 2020. An early birthday present for the cricket icon, the philanthropist, an individual who has contributed significantly to nation building here in St. Lucia. And we certainly look forward to the continued contributions from him and now in his capacity. His birthday is, I believe, the 20th of December. So an early happy birthday to you, His Excellency, Your Excellency, Darren Sammy, on this very wonderful appointment. Continuing with this morning's news, we do have, on Thursday, that was yesterday, December 10th, St. Lucia recorded another COVID-19 related death. This was the fourth death. And if you followed the news last night, we did immediately alert the public to this. The individual is a 62-year-old male from the Castries district who was presented at the respiratory hospital as a critical patient and passed away while he was in care. He was one of 3 people whose test results for COVID-19 was confirmed positive from a batch of 143 samples. There were 140 negative test results, and this brings the number of COVID-19 related deaths to 4. The total number of cases diagnosed in country to date is 274. On Thursday, the Ministry of Health also recorded 7 COVID-19 recoveries. The total number of recoveries is now 184, bringing the number of active cases in country to 86. And concurrent with the word from the Chief Medical Officer at a recent press conference to update the nation on our COVID-19 response, we've so far seen a reduced risk in transmission, and this has, of course, afforded us the opportunity to be able to enjoy reduced restrictions with respect to this pandemic. Meanwhile, as part of measures to manage and contain the spread of the novel coronavirus in country, the government of St. Lucia is set to introduce a contact tracing app for nationals and visitors. Consultant on the project is St. Lucia graduate and researcher at Harvard University, Khalil Louisi. He says the app is not designed to invade the privacy of people, nor to collect or transfer information on users. Take a look.
It maintains a location log. So all of the public places that you would have gone to over 14-day period, so 2-week period, it maintains all of those points and it saves it in your phone. No one has access to this information. Even if somebody goes into your phone, they cannot see all of the places that you visited. So it is completely private. In the event that one individual does test positive for COVID-19 or for any infectious disease, really, they would choose to share that location log with the contact tracer. And the contact tracer would then be able to have a visual representation of all of the public places that that individual had gone to over the 40-day period. So it appears like if you look at a Google map, for instance, that's exactly what it looks like. The contact tracer has the choice to delete certain points if they don't think it's necessary. But what it does is it provides a mapping of the spread of the virus, because if you have a number of people who tested positive for the infection and you have all of their location data, you can see those hot spots.
Now, contact tracing is a standard public health strategy. I know you would have heard about it not only the world over, but also in St. Lucia. It's been used to break the transmission chain and to contain the spread of infectious diseases. It involves tracing or actively searching for all contacts who may have been exposed to an infected individual. The process is very important in St. Lucia's fight against the spread of COVID-19. We have a surveillance officer, Dr. Dana Gomez, explaining that the app will vastly improve the contact tracing process here in St. Lucia. And for that, we all are very grateful and thankful.
There are some limitations to contact tracing, and sometimes persons don't remember exactly where they've been, who they've been in contact with, who has visited them, some of the activities that they've been engaged in. And by using the app, we are the ones, the contact tracing team, would be privy to the information that the confirmed case is giving us, pretty much like what is happening now, but it's just going to help to joggle their memory and to help them. Because like I said, sometimes when you get the news, you just blank off, and you may not remember some of the places that you've been and what you've done in the past. So this is definitely going to help us.
That was Dr. Dana Gomez. She's a surveillance officer explaining how the app will vastly improve the contact tracing process. The information that is obtained by the app is only accessed if an individual has tested positive for COVID-19 and is accessed by contact tracing personnel. The app is called the 758 Care Alert. It is expected to be available to the public in the coming weeks. In other COVID-19 monitoring developments, there has been a decrease in the rate of transmission of COVID-19 on Ireland. As I indicated earlier, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George says the rate is now at 2.3. It's down from 3.0, which was registered in November. That decline has afforded a reduction in restrictions, which take effect on December 15th. However, the CMO is calling for continued caution as the Christmas season will bring its own unique challenges.
When we did our assessment, we have over 1,000 returning nationals coming in, and also the increase in the visitor arrivals coming in during the month of December is also of concern to us. Given our capacity for government or institutional quarantine, it means we'll have an increased number of persons on home quarantine, and given our history of managing home quarantine and the lack of compliance and adherence, this is one of the risks that we looked at in relation to the month of December for us in St. Lucia particularly.
Measures to improve home quarantine mechanisms include more stringent requirements before approval is given, and also increased surveillance capacity to ensure compliance in every community, in every household that has home-based quarantine.
And we are supposed to receive the tracking devices this week. We did a pilot process on the first batch, and it worked well for what we want to do. And we are also doing the review of our first set of the bio buttons that we have received right now. So we are hoping that by next week we can commence with the use of the electronic devices.
That was Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George. They're speaking in an update to the nation earlier this week when it was announced that the reduced restrictions on COVID-19, the COVID-19 response was announced. Also, we need to make note of the protocol enforcement officers who've been appointed by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. They do have powers of arrest. They will also be involved in the monitoring of these homes to ensure compliance. Yeah. So that word there from the Chief Medical Officer in terms of the work that they plan to engage in to deal with the influx of travelers, holiday travelers coming over to St. Lucia for the season, and of course coming to their homes, their families' homes to spend the holidays. We are due for a break. When we come back, we talked about the contact tracing app. Well, there is an app that is going to save you money, and it is coming from an entrepreneur, the entrepreneurship world champion of 2019. He's the owner of Penny Pinch, a fintech startup company, and he will be speaking on the launch of his mobile digital wallet. So stay tuned. We just talked about COVID-19 contact tracing and now how you could save a buck. Stay with us.
Keeping hands clean is important for good health. However, after a disaster, staying clean is hard to do, especially if there is no pipe-borne water. Simple things you can do to stay clean and remain healthy are: wash your hands with soap and clean water. If these are not available, sanitizers with alcohol are options. Wash your hands many times during the day, before preparing food, eating, caring for a sick person or baby, treating a cut, wound, or sore. Wash hands after using the bathroom, changing diapers, caring for animals, caring for sick or injured persons, after handling garbage. Washing your hands is one of the best ways to prevent illness. For further information, contact the Bureau of Health Education at telephone number 468-5349.
We at war with the virus, ready to harm us. Panic is not the answer. We can win this together.
Often use hand sanitizer, better yet use soap and water.
We must protect each other if we are to beat this corona.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. Be a
Kleenex case. Avoid touching your face. I'm sure you've been told so. Handshakes and hugging are up. No.
Advice give you the please. Cover your mouth and your nose if you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing and avoid large social gatherings.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. St. Lucia be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
For further information, please contact the hotline at 311 or the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We just got off of the break there speaking on the latest developments from the government of St. Lucia, giving you the COVID-19 update, a word on the investiture ceremony that was held yesterday, inducting the latest Goodwill Ambassador, His Excellency Darren Sammy, and also speaking on the plans of the government of St. Lucia to implement a contact tracing app. And speaking of apps, we do have a gentleman in studio right now who's here to speak to us about an application a business that he has, a fintech, a startup app company called Penny Pinch. And he's recently launched a mobile digital wallet for that application. I'd like to welcome you, Mr. Martin Hanna, CEO of Penny Pinch.
All right, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. And we do have the mask, but you sound a little bit muffled, but we'll try to go along as best as possible. Mm-hmm. You were the EWC champion for 2019, that's correct?
That's right. In 2019, I went to Saudi Arabia to represent St. Lucia at the Entrepreneurship World Cup.
Okay, wonderful. And of course, definitely you were able to derive quite a bit of information in building up your business and so on. And here we are in 2020 with Penny Pinch. Tell us a bit about this application.
So the mobile app is available on the App Store and Play Store. You could download it, create a free account, and then it is a digital wallet. It's St. Lucia's first and only licensed digital wallet. So we're regulated by our local authority. And this digital wallet allows you to make contactless payments at different stores that we've partnered with. So that means a newer, safer way to pay without any contact, especially during these tough times with COVID around.
Okay, so definitely a safer way to pay, less interaction with individuals. But speak to us about the perks in terms of being able to save $1, because the app is, after all, called Penny Pinch.
Right, so Penny Pinch means to save you some money. And apart from just being able to pay at the different stores that we work with, you're able to get a full-on loyalty solution. So we give you cash back for shopping with Penny Pinch. We give you exclusive discounts as well as rewards. So on your birthday, you get rewards from every single store that we work with. You get rewards every time you make a couple purchases at your stores. And it just keeps on adding up over time.
Okay. Now, Penny Pinch, you were first here a few months ago to speak to us about Penny Pinch, and I was on the app at that time, and I just looked at the app just recently, and there is quite a bit of activity, and I'm talking in the thousands. Tell us about the reception to Penny Pinch so far.
So the reception has been really positive, I would say. People are very, they love that something is positive is coming to the country, especially in the financial technology services, where now you could pay with your phone. Now you could send money instantly to friends and family without having to worry about long lines, expensive fees, and whatnot. So the feedback has been extremely positive. People are encouraging Penny Pinch to do more now. They want to see more features. They want to see how more stores come on. They're requesting for their favorite brands to come on the app and whatnot.
Okay, and speaking of brands, you have quite a few businesses that are on board. We're not going to get into that, but just speak to us about the reception on their end. How have they taken on this digital mobile wallet, the idea of it? Because it's novel to St. Lucia.
So businesses were actually excited about it because they wanted a way to accept payments without the whole contact, especially now. And they also wanted a sufficient way to engage their customers with a full-on loyalty solution. And that's where Penny Pinch comes in with the cashback, the discounts, the rewards, and whatnot. So, and then we provide them with a full-on back-end that allows them to see everything that they need to see, that their normal point of sale would never give them.
Okay. Now, I want to break it down a little further. A lot of the millennials would know of Cash App and these applications that are used in other countries. Can you explain where Penny Pinch fits in that whole spectrum of applications for digital mobile wallet and loyalty?
So I would say that Penny Pinch is the Cash App of the Caribbean mixed with Retail Me Not. If anybody knows what Retail Me Not is, it's basically a website that allows you to get discounts. So we've combined the two and brought it to the Caribbean. So you can make your payments, get your discounts, your cash back, and not only that, but being able to send money instantly between friends and family on the app.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we speak more to the CEO of Penny Pinch, the Penny Pinch app, Mr. Martin Hanna. Stay with us.
Yeah. What does coronavirus have in common with love? Both are highly contagious. Spread love, not the virus. Like you, COVID-19 loves a lime. Beach, river, or fed. Coronavirus is like these people who track every lime just to invade. The best way to put off invaders? Cancel the lime. Spread love, not the virus. Keep you and your crew corona-free. Live to lime another day.
Together let us win this war. Said we shall be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
Thank you for staying with us. This is the Morning Update live on NTN. We are speaking to Mr. Martin Hanna, the CEO of Penny Pinch and the champion coming off of Entrepreneurship World Cup in 2019. He so far made the most of it, being able to launch his business. It's a fintech startup company, as I mentioned, Penny Pinch, launching its mobile digital wallet. And definitely we came off of the break speaking on, Martin, some of the benefits to having Penny Pinch on your phone, in not only being able to have it as a digital wallet, but also to benefit from various businesses, being able to have a loyalty benefits and getting discounts and other perks from being signed up to this application. Speak to us about some of the promotions that you have right now in order to generate more persons signing onto this program, especially at this time. We have COVID-19, the contactless, moving toward the contactless sort of situation in terms of transactions here in St. Lucia, and also being able to save $1.
So to begin with, for those wondering, how does it work? So you download the app for free, you create an account, and then you go ahead by funding your wallet with your debit or credit card. So you add money to your app, and then you're able to go around shopping. And we have an exciting promotion right now. So every purchase you make on the app, you get an entry to win $500 between now and the 14th of December. And what's great is that on your first purchase using the Penny Pinch wallet, you get $5 in bonus cashback.
Okay, I definitely see how this could benefit persons for the Christmas season. Can you just speak to, on an economic level, how this is going to change the landscape of business here in St. Lucia? You are a pioneer, having launched this business, the Cash App of the Caribbean, here in the region. Just speak to us about how this will change. What does this mean? What is the significance for our economy with the introduction of your business?
Right, so as I mentioned earlier, we're the first and only licensed digital wallet operator in St. Lucia. So it is a little bit of history being the first one. And in terms of how it affects the economy, obviously with COVID around, it's a new and safer way to pay. So obviously no touch involved in making transactions. As you know, physical cash is very dirty and dangerous in terms of transmission of the virus. Another thing is that it also allows for transmission of monies between friends and family. So no longer will you need to go on lines or pay expensive fees to move monies from friends and family, whether you're in the US or whether you're in Viewfort and I'm in Grizzly. There's no need to go to the bank to do these little transfers. It can all be done on your smartphone instantly.
So businesses that want to partner with you, merchants that want to partner with you to perhaps advertise, offer special discounts to their clientele here in St. Lucia, how can they get in contact with you?
So we actually encourage small businesses of all kinds to join the Penny Pinch platform. They could sign up and set up their application by visiting mypennypinch.com/signup, and then they will fill in their application. And from there, we will contact them and get them set up on the app, train them on how to accept the payments, and that's it. It's quite easy for any small business to now start accepting digital payments directly on their smartphone.
And also, I've seen that you've partnered with a recognized financial institution here in St. Lucia, I dare say that absolutely, that cosign absolutely legitimizes your business.
For sure. I mean, we've partnered with First National Bank to power the infrastructure of Penny Pinch in terms of the payments and the transmission of money. We've also partnered with Digicel to power the app. So if you're a Digicel customer on an active plan and you're using the Penny Pinch app, data would not be consumed.
Wonderful.
And we've also partnered with the likes of KFC to bring your favorite fast food restaurant on the platform to buy your goodies.
Wonderful. Not getting into too much of the business side of things, but definitely we can see how this is a wonderful opportunity for St. Lucians in being able to not only move away from the cash transaction, the contactless transaction now, but also being able to protect themselves against COVID-19 because, germs on money and all that stuff. But persons moving around less and less, that is definitely the effort and the admonition on the part of the government of St. Lucia that you reduce your movement as much as possible. It's why the government of St. Lucia is asking businesses to institute the work from home policy. It's why we've had the kids at home for some time, remote learning and what have you. So the effort is to reduce unnecessary movements, and I definitely see, Martin, how Penny Pinch can augur well in this effort. Any final words?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop at just payments and money transfer. We're trying to introduce a whole line of products such as paying your bills, topping up your mobile phone, anything that has to do for digital payment where you don't need to go and wait on a line, and you could be at the comfort of your home and pay your bills, send money to friends, or even make a payment to one of your stores.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Martin Hanna, for your time. Local fintech company launches its mobile digital wallet, Penny Pinch. You can go onto the App Store, the Play Store, and download Penny Pinch and not have to deal with having to transact monies with businesses and so on. And you could also get wonderful benefits by signing up. Again, auguring well for this COVID-19 situation, the COVID-19 response ongoing here in St. Lucia. Thank you so much, Martin, for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Do stay with us. When we come back, we speak to Mr. Earl Agdamar. He's with the Gemstones Theatre Productions. And of course, you would have known by now of the virtual theatre arts series that's ongoing. It's the reality TV show of St. Lucia right now, trending as part of the Cultural Development Foundation's National Arts Festival, continuing into November. Do stay with us. We have that and more after this break.
Overnight, growing national unrest.
Society, a digital cashless society, one world currency.
A vaccine for COVID-19.
Droplets
of virus.
Macy's iconic flagship.
Virus
Track
the coronavirus.
Everybody vaccinated on the corona pandemic.
Our opposition to the lockdown.
Infected conspiracy theories.
Bizarre claims.
The truth about the origin of COVID-19 hidden from the rest of the world. And the Chinese.
In this constantly changing environment, resulting in sensory overload, cut through the noise and tune in to the National Television Network, the official source of information, all facts.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We are live on NTN with the morning update. We just brought you the latest updates coming from the government of St. Lucia. Still have more to come, but also an interview with the owner, entrepreneur of Penny Pinch. That is a mobile digital wallet that will offer the opportunity to have contactless transactions here in St. Lucia. We know how that will do well for us, especially in the effort to reduce transmission of COVID-19. And to also save a buck. We continue this morning. We do have an interview coming up with Mr. Earl Agdamar. You would know that the CDF, the Cultural Development Foundation, continues its National Arts Festival, and we're now smack dab in the middle of the Virtual Theatre Arts series. And we do have Gemstones Theatre Productions featuring prominently in this reality TV show of sorts. So Mr. Earl Agdamar will be speaking to us a little bit more about that, and also what we can expect in this weekend's episode. In the meantime, he's on his way, but in the meantime, we have the government and people of Taiwan, a story on the government and people of Taiwan providing much needed personal protective equipment to the office of the mayor of Castries through the twinning program with Taipei. We have our very own Herma Demac with a report.
The government of Taiwan continues to aid with COVID-19 relief efforts in St. Lucia. Their latest contribution to the country is the donation of 24,000 face masks to the city of Castries. The donation from Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, also included $3,000 to help with purchasing educational supplies for students in the Castries Basin. The donation was presented by Taiwanese ambassador to St. Lucia, His Excellency Peter Chen, and was received by His Worship Mayor Peterson Francis. His Excellency Peter Chen says this donation strengthens the bond between Castries and the sister city of Taipei, Taiwan.
The COVID-19 pandemic has not only presented unprecedented challenges to public health, but also caused devastating economic and social disruption. Families in Castries have also been impacted, as other cities all over the world. For that, I would like to commend Mayor Francis for his care and actions to address these needs of the citizens to cope with this difficult time. And I would also especially like to thank Dr. Ke Wen-ze, the mayor of Taipei City, for his positive response to the needs. Today's donation demonstrates the love from the citizens of Taiwan to the city of Castries, and how they cherish the sister city relationship.
The commissioner for the mayor of Taipei's office responsible for external affairs, Tom Chu, also addressed the handing over ceremony held at the Taiwanese embassy. As a former ambassador to St. Lucia, he expresses fondness for the country and his elation to be able to facilitate such a significant donation.
I can imagine how difficult the challenge St. Lucia is now facing. Taipei City, as a capital of Taiwan, has excellent record both in epidemic prevention and economic growth. It has shared its successful epidemic prevention experience with all sister cities around the world, including Castries, since April 21st of this year. Moreover, Mayor Kerr of Taipei City has decided to donate 24,000 masks and $3,000 for the cost of stationery for the students of Castries. I'm very pleased to provide these resources in this donation as Commissioner of Mayor's Office for External Affairs.
His Worship Mayor Peterson Francis expressed deep gratitude for Taiwan's continued support and highlighted the timeliness of their latest gift to the country.
That donation this morning is very timely to help all of us to see how we could combat that COVID-19. We know now we are looking at a vaccine, and I sincerely hope by next year we will be able to get rid of the vaccine and we get back to our normal life. I could assure you that we'll make extremely good use of it. And I must say again, the people of Taiwan and our sister city has responded positively again to the people of St. Lucia.
The government of Taiwan has donated 450,000 face masks to St. Lucia since April 2020 to assist with the protection of frontline workers against the COVID-19 pandemic. From the Government Information Service, Herma DeMark reporting.
Thank you, Huma, for that report. St. Lucia has launched a human capital resilience project with funding from the World Bank designed to enhance skills in the labor force as well as support the country's social protection system.
Human Capital Resilience Project is geared towards the improvement of skills relevant to St. Lucia's labor market demands and strengthening the social protection system through increasing resilience of the most vulnerable households to shocks. The project, which was officially launched on Tuesday, offers skills training, particularly to youth and women, and provide poor households with improved social protection coverage. Project manager Dr. Rufina Frederick Felicia highlighted that the project embodies 3 different capacities in resilience, including absorption, adaptation, and transformation.
Teacher training and high-quality technical and vocational education and training will be offered at secondary schools and 5 other institutions of training and higher education. The National Skills Development Center, NSDC, the National Enrichment Learning Program, NEL, the Center for Adolescent Renewal and Education Care, and the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Under Component 2, Improving Social Protection System, there will be increased coverage and improved efficiency, modernizing and implementation and delivery systems of the Public Assistance Program and the Kudme Simplicity Program. I must highlight that gender parity and persons with disabilities have been catered for in this project.
Permanent Secretary in the Department of Education, Innovation and Gender Relations, Michelle Charles, explained that the project is one of the mechanisms for which the limitations of St. Lucia's human capital will be addressed. The Department of Education has proposed the establishment of a National Vocational Institute and is collaborating with the European Development Fund in that regard.
The implementation of this project will place in sharp focus 2 critical areas that, when addressed, will have a profound positive impact on our people and contribute towards economic development. For the first component of strengthening technical vocational education and training, it is expected that the capacities within our various TVET institutions will be augmented and strengthened. This injection of resources will facilitate the development and implementation of the programs necessary for the enhancing of skills training offerings that are aligned with our industry needs. Component 1, which focuses on the promotion of more and higher quality technical and socio-emotional skills and the transformation of the TVET sector from a supply-driven system to a demand-driven system that responds to changing labor market conditions.
Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment, Honorable Leonard Montoute, explained that the project will allow for the improvement of the social policy framework.
We are presently working with the Caribbean Development Bank on the design of yet another social protection project, which we expect to implement within the coming months. And for us at the ministry, this is significant as we now have a unique opportunity to leverage technical and financial resources towards a holistic review and complete overhaul of our social protection system, an endeavor that had been on our agenda for some time now. With much anticipation and great commitment, we therefore look forward to the end results showcasing a robust, shock-responsive, comprehensive, and inclusive gender and child-sensitive social protection system capable of delivering in ways that not only allow us to meet the current needs of the poor and vulnerable, but also to empower them and to build their capacities for self-advancement.
The project will support the government's measures to increase job opportunities for youth and women by expanding the number and quality of technical and vocational education offerings and sponsor internships and job placements with the support from the private sector. Catherine Funk is the acting manager for the World Bank for the Caribbean.
I also take this
opportunity to compliment the government of St. Lucia for their commitment towards undertaking medium-term structural reforms to strengthen fiscal sustainability, diversify the economy, and enhance long-term resilience to shocks. In particular, the enactment of the Public Finance Management and the Procurement Acts and the commitment to implement a rules-based fiscal responsibility framework is creditable, as these will help economic resilience and facilitate recovery once this crisis abates. Once enacted, the legislations for implementing a collateral registry and modern insolvency framework will improve financial access and liquidity for small and medium enterprises and will place St. Lucia as a pioneer country in the Eastern Caribbean region.
The U.S. $20 million operation is financed by the International Development Association, the concessional financing arm of the World Bank. The interest-free credit has a maturity of 4 years, a grace period of 10 years, and no interest. From the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
Thank you, Janelle, for that report. We are due for a break. When we come back, we speak to Mr. Earl Agdamar of Gemstones Theatre Productions. They are featuring prominently in the ongoing virtual theatre arts series of the Cultural Development Foundation's National Arts Festival. Stay with us.
The St. Lucia Bureau of Standards invites public comment on the following draft standards: food safety, hazard analysis and critical control point HACCP system requirements, food safety prerequisite programs and good hygiene practices, general principles, packaged natural coconut water code of practice, packaged natural coconut water specification, processed food brewed products labeling requirements, processed foods carbonated beverages specification, processed foods ketchup specification, processed foods brewed product specification. The deadline for comments is Monday, 1st February 2021. For further information, visit our website at www.slbs.org or call 453-0049. For quick access, scan the QR code below.
Overnight growing national unrest.
Society, a digital cashless society, one world currency.
A vaccine which has for COVID-19.
Midtown
Droplets of virus.
Macy's iconic flagship. Set inside.
The coronavirus.
Everybody vaccinated
On the corona pandemic.
Our position stay the lockdown.
An infected conspiracy theories
about the coronavirus.
bizarre claims.
The truth about the origin of COVID-19 is hidden from the rest of the world. And the Chinese.
In this constantly changing environment, resulting in sensory overload, cut through the noise and tune in to the National Television Network, the official source of information, all facts.
Thank you so much for staying with us. So we are live on NTN. This is the morning update, and it's been a packed program so far. We're now speaking to Mr. Earl Agdamar. He's from Gemstones Theatre Productions. And as you would know, the Virtual Theatre Arts series is ongoing as part of the CDF National Arts Festival being held from, I believe it was from August, September, going into the new year. A special good morning to you, Mr. Agdamar.
Good morning, madam, and thank you for having myself and Gemstones on air.
Wonderful. We've so far seen the virtual theatre arts series of quite a few episodes have shown so far. The drama behind the dramas. Tell us about that experience so far. The Gemstones experience, because we recently spoke to the other theatre arts production company recently on their experience.
Gemstones, we did enjoy our production. The usual ups and downs, especially complicated by COVID. The drama behind it was to be on time, to try to maintain the social distancing, try to get into character, but not be close to the persons that you're actually doing the play with. Mm-hmm. So that was a bit of a challenge, on top of having days missed because persons were very concerned about any kind of, how would you say it, too close interaction that they could get COVID.
Okay. Now, the other production company, they seem to have more drama than Gemstones. For the individuals who had an opportunity to take a look at the reality TV series that is airing right now, you could go onto the CDF Facebook page and you could tune in on Sundays to NTN, HTS, I believe, as well, to get to get an understanding, an idea of this reality TV series. There seems to be more drama. Why do you think it's so? I heard somebody said it's because there's more young people in the other group. That's why there's more drama there.
I would want to venture that side. What I would say, it's probably down to our director, Monsieur Ford, and his persona, quite calm, and the approach to getting this production. He took a bit of a low-key approach, letting us go into our pieces, but not really get involved in the drama of, hey, look, you did not do that properly. When we finished our lines, he would pull us quietly aside, and so there was no time to develop that anger, that, yes, drama, but...
For TV.
Yeah, for TV. So, sorry, St. Lucia, we did not have that in our Gemstones productions. Also, two of the cast members are more seasoned persons in the arts, so they would be more okay with how to deal with any kind of issues that arise.
Okay, so speaking of the pieces and the focus more on the art form, tell us about the play that you are preparing for.
Well, the play we did already. The play is a family drama, a bit of a play on society and how society recognizes and deals with persons who are growing up, taking their places in life, but then they are not exactly gone moon. You have the parents taking control a little too much of a grown 25-year-old. She's working already, and they don't like her boyfriend. But it really has to do with the arts and how the arts is being treated in St. Lucia. That yes, we are there for the various large celebrations, but persons in the communities who do the arts being a bit sidelined. They feel a bit sidelined and marginalized when it comes to them getting any kind of reward for what they have done on stage.
Okay, wonderful. And speak to us about your own experience, the role that you play as an actor, Mr. Agdamar. I know that by day you are a building technician, but speak to us a bit about your passion for acting.
This present role, I'm a robber who does not do a good job, and my name is Snatch. A bit of an opportunistic robber that happens daily throughout our communities where persons, vulnerable persons get robbed. I came into the drama piece because Monsieur Ford, when he calls, you have to answer. Being one of the later members in his casting, the original casting was done in February, but because of the shutdown, a recast was done. And one member dropped out, and one of the other guys who was playing Tony, he moved up, so I took his role as Snatch.
Okay, understood. And tell us about your passion. I asked you about your passion. Tell us how you started, a little bit of something about what's fueling your interest in acting.
Like most of us, I was involved in a lot of the school plays. So as far back as then, I love my culture, I love my folk dancing. So just a bit of a segue into the drama piece. Did a few pieces, a few skits with Monsieur Ford and two other production teams for the Calypsonians during the various Calypso shows. Persons in Castries still recognize me as Shas with a Shanties song in 2016. Yeah, I played the Prime Minister at that time.
Wonderful. And now you and the rest of the team have come into experiencing virtual television and being the subjects of constant filming. We spoke a little bit about it earlier, but you're now being filmed, everything that you do, every high note, every faux pas.
Even eating behind the scenes was filmed. Having a birthday drink was filmed. It was a bit of a wow, are we really being filmed? We went to Pigeon Island. We had to wait about 2 hours. But in that 2 hours, we were being filmed. And seeing ourselves a few weeks later on television, having our own fun, but it's being portrayed in a drama form. That was very interesting.
And tense. Everybody's wondering. They hope they're not the subject of any. Definitely. But definitely, what do you think this means for theater arts, the art form? Definitely, there was a rationale behind the CDF to bring more light, to expose more of what happens in the background in preparations for theater arts productions. And we know it's, for those who are in arts, it's a very rigorous preparation process. Tell us about the significance of this for the actor, for the director, for the individuals who are behind the scenes now getting this level of exposure.
I'll put it down to there's now more opportunity because persons are now able to go virtual. And yes, the experience of seeing yourself on film is one, but moreover, everybody have cell phone cameras. So you could, those of you who are thinking of doing theater, you can start there and film your own selves. We who are in Castries, those who are in Vieux-Fort, those who are in Choiseul, anywhere, and you can mix and match your production and see how it turns out, because it is exciting to now be able to see yourself on YouTube. Wow, yeah, TikTok, yeah, it is exciting. It is exciting.
It's opened a whole new world for
a whole new
arts.
world, a whole new world. Yes,
absolutely. Any final words?
Again, thanks to CDF for having us. Gemstones would like to thank CDF. I would like to thank our various persons that helped us out. Mr. Clozel, Shelley Boss, Miranda, Lenny, Chrysler, Martin, Mr. Stan, thanks for the various camera shots. And everybody else, anybody I mentioned, you know who you are. Thank you very much from Gemstones.
Give us a sneak peek.
I may have to take your cell phone, your watch, and everything. So just be careful you don't leave the set.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for now today. Thank you so much, Mr. Agdamar, Earl Agdamar from Gemstones Theatre Productions. I really do appreciate your time. Just let the people know how they can catch up with the virtual reality TV show series.
It will be online at 7 o'clock. CDF will be sending out their various information online at 7 o'clock Sundays. It's on NTN also at 7 o'clock. We hang through the grapevines, not official, that it might be on Choice at 7 o'clock Monday night, but CDF is definitely showing it on NTN Sundays at 7 o'clock.
Okay, and also on HTS, I believe, as well.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so very much for your time. Quick shout out to the Cultural Development Foundation for a wonderful showcase of the National Arts Festival, albeit virtually, but doing a wonderful job at it. And we're now in the theater arts segment of things in terms of October, November, and now into December, the Virtual Theater Arts Series. Kudos to the CDF. Again, just wrapping up for the morning. It's all the time we have for today. The headlines for the morning: following an investiture ceremony being held yesterday, Thursday, December 10th. You may now address him as Your Excellency Darren Sammy. He's now become a Goodwill Ambassador for St. Lucia, and that event was held at the Government House under the Governor of St. Lucia, the Ministry of Tourism, Information and Broadcasting, the Culture and the Creative Industries, and also the CDF. In terms of the COVID-19 situation, St. Lucia is going to introduce a contact tracing app. And also there are preparations underway for welcoming the influx of holiday travelers who are coming back home for the Christmas season. We just went over the plans for home-based quarantine and strengthening and ensuring that there is a high level of compliance where that is concerned. And finally, a new project to enhance the skills of the labor force is launched. We got that report from Janelle Norville. So all the time we have for now. My name is Jessie Leonce. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning and making us your morning station, getting the latest updates from the government of St. Lucia. Mr. Agdamar, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
TGIF, enjoy your weekend. Oh, do stay tuned for more NTN programming. We do have some important updates coming for you today, so stay tuned. Goodbye. Cheers.